Guys, we're back, baby. It is Brave New World, our Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG. We are officially in season 2, so let's get started and introduce our players. You might notice we have someone new and someone missing. Um, we'll save them for last because they're certainly not least, but let's introduce our returning players. Let's start with Bison, since I see him next in Zoom.
That's me. I'm Bison. Today I am playing Jack, not a cop, Aldridge, our resident stabber of things and starters of apocalypses. On Tuesday, spoiler alerts for season 1. Shit, sorry guys. I'm not a cop. On Tuesdays, I run our almost no cops involved Cyberpunk Red Game Carnage Heights. I tried to involve some cops, and our nomad ran them off the road, and then our solo shot him in the head like a dozen times. So that's happened. On Thursdays, I play Encino, the Dragonborn Paladin, on our completely normal Fool's Gold campaign called King's Pyrite. That is definitely one to watch. It's hilarious. It's unhinged, and we have no idea what's happening at any moment in time. Speaking of not knowing what's going on Saturday, I play Sid Brimlock, the man silently trying to start a revolution, on our necrobiotic game Dead to Rights. Other than that, you can find me posting memes in the Discord. I do that a lot. Going to next in the Zoom thing. How about Kyle?
Howdy, folks. I am the Bat Kyle, your friendly neighborhood Bat Kyle, if I'm feeling friendly that day. On Mondays here, I play Yay, Jacob King, but everybody just calls him Yay. He is our friendly-ish stoner half-demon oracle. I know it's a lot, but so is he. On Thursdays, you can find me playing Badge's Newth, the brain cell and constantly spiked blood pressure druid who's just really trying to keep everybody alive and moving in at least some sort of direction. Because y'all just do skip. Anyway, other than that, I also post memes in the Discord, and let's go over to producer Kevin. It never works. One of these days, though. Let's go to Mana instead.
One of these days it will work. Hi guys, I am Mana Queen. I play our lovely Slayer here on our Monday night Brave New World game, Ash Lexington. Other than that, that's pretty much, you can find me right now on our Dirty 20 gaming channel. Not currently in any other games. However, I am also pretty active on the Discord that Bison just linked in our Twitch chat. You can find me on Twitter at Mana Queen Games, and yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing for the moment. And for our last but very not least newcomer here, Miss Luna.
Hi, I'm Luna. I am very new to all of this, including the Discord. I just know Chris from another thing, and she's like, "Hey, you love Buffy. Want to do this cool thing?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, sounds great." I will be playing a character that you will be meeting sometime. I hope you enjoy her. I enjoyed creating her. I am mostly imperceivable everywhere. I have personal accounts, but I do have a YouTube channel with my friends that I'll share in the chat. We are the Astro Girls. We do reactions, we play games, we do essays and stuff on all anime, animation type stuff like that, and it's really cool.
And me. I'm Wayward Knight, aka Chris. I am the director of this lovely game. I also play Delilah Stillwater, aka Lady Felicity Caldwell, on shut up, Kevin. On Dead to Rights on Saturdays. I am an artist. I sell my art online. I also have a podcast called Professional Questers, where I interview people in the TTRPG world about their characters, and then I flip the script and I interview the characters themselves. So if you want to check out any of that, here's my. Come on. There's my link. Without further ado, let's get started. Recap time. Oh, also, no, never mind. Recap time.
I'm like nervous.
I know, I'm like, I shouldn't be nervous, but I am.
Same bestie.
It's like first day of like junior year where it's like you've been through 2 years of this, but like you're still nervous. It's like, what? Halloween party. That's what I have in my notes. Okay, so in our last episode, which was the last episode of season 1, we started with a Halloween party the day after the big, I'm gonna call it a shebang because that's what it ended with. Cheryl announced her intent to leave Cleveland and confronted Jack about his ability to wield the knife and her own preparedness to kill him should he attack Ye, which horrified her. The gang reflected on the events of the previous day as Julian brought over cupcakes and a well-needed bottle of vodka. Jack got some text from his wife, the one who's been dead for 3 years. He also got a concerning text from his handler, who also happens to be his brother-in-law. Next, they had Thanksgiving at the Kings. Ye had a heart-to-heart with his mom about doing what he can to use his gift while staying safe. The gang had another heart-to-heart, led by Julian, about the blessings of having each other for better or for worse. In December, the gang threw a going-away party for Cheryl, which got a little wacky, but fun times were had. Christmas came around, and Ash spent their break with their dad. The night of Christmas Eve was quiet, maybe too quiet, and in that liminal moment just before sleep, Ash found himself under attack. And that is where we left off. But first, it's Christmas Day. A familiar cafe, and the hour is just before dawn. Snow gently falls outside the window. It's empty, save for the owner, who never seems to take a day off. He shuffles around in the kitchen. Danny sits at a table across from a woman whom we only see the back of. Deep blonde hair cascades just past her shoulders. Her clothes are light, warm, business casual. They talk. Danny looks profoundly relieved and happy to hear something. We can't see it, but we can tell the woman has a soft smile on her lips. We notice the sun just beginning to peek its head over the skyline, and when we look back after only a glance, Danny's gone. There's only the woman there. She picks up 2 green and gold rings from the table. The owner places a mug of coffee and a small plate in front of her. He heads back to his kitchen, and she admires the sunrise over the city, sipping her latte and taking a bite of her blueberry scone.
Gonna
Now
have to
let's
murder Danny.
rewind. And now we rewind to the night before. Something disturbed Ash in their almost sleep. They checked the hall, their room, all the nooks and crannies a monster could be hiding. There was honestly nothing, so they went back to bed. But right as they were about to fall asleep, they sat up with the start to see a silhouette above them with a knife in its hand. And Ash, now you actually wake up with a start.
Blood curdling scream that I'm gonna save everybody's eardrums from. Blood curdling scream comes out of Ash's mouth. Like
you instant like thud 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 from down the hall. Your door bursts open. It's your dad in his like nightshirt, and he like pulled on some PJ pants and is like, "Oh my god, what's wrong? What happened?"
There was somebody's in my room. Somebody's in my room.
Okay. First thing, turn on the lights. Turn on the lights. He like runs to the light switch, turns on the light. And then he says, "I'll be right back." And you hear him run down the hall, and then he comes back in like 30 seconds with a baseball bat, and he's like, "I will beat their ass."
Ash just like in the 30 seconds that their dad is gone, gets up and like looks around the room, is like breathing and all that stuff, and comes back and reaches out and gently takes the bat from their dad. And like, maybe me.
He like struggles. He's like reluctant to let it go, but he like lets you take it. He's like,
I
are you okay?
I swear to God, there was somebody in my room.
He goes over to the window, checks. It's locked. He does the same thing. He goes closet, under bed, behind, curtains and stuff. Ash, there's nobody here.
Okay. And Ash kind of like, runs her hand like through their hair and is like, okay. I'm sorry. Let's just go back to bed.
No, it's okay.
What time of night is it?
It's like 1 a.m.
Okay. Ash is like, let's just go back to bed. We'll have Christmas morning in the morning. Everything's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you. And like hands the bat back to him. Just like,
He'll take the bat and kind of hold it a little more casually, but he'll take you gently by the arm and kind of pull you in for a hug, because that scared the shit out of him too.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
he'll basically hug you for a little longer than like is necessary for
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just like the pat on the back, like dad, I'm good. Thanks.
Oh, okay. I'll see you in the morning, Ash.
Okay. Love you. Night.
Love you. Night. And
Okay.
he heads back and leaves the baseball bat in your room.
Okay. Ash is gonna like really like focus and like do that like meditative, that like Eugenia's like, hey, just like focus and like try to see if they can like sense anything, like Slayer or the EBGB's going off, or Slayer senses. Woo. Yeah, the Wiggins force, exactly.
Yeah, the Wiggins the Wiggins force. The Slayer sense in you, while not triggering an immediate danger response. Oh my god, mother. What are you doing? Sorry. There's just hella banging from upstairs. Sorry. While not triggering an immediate danger response, your head is pounding from this. Like, was it a dream? You've never woken up from a dream feeling like this.
Okay. Am I still like panicked? Am I like what is Ash like feeling right now?
Your heart rate is coming back down.
Mm-hmm.
You are filled with a sense of dread.
Lovely. Merry Christmas.
Indeed.
And Ash will like look at their phone, decide not to bother anybody. It's Christmas. and go back to bed, but with the baseball bat.
Emotional support bat.
Yes, exactly.
It's a thing. So, Christmas comes and goes, but we have a whole break to cover for most of you. Jack,
Yes.
over the course of the holiday season, the messages from Diane have not stopped. In fact, they've increased. They went from texts to phantom calls to in Jesus. Oh,
I heard that one.
yeah, I'll be right back.
Jack just getting texts from
Fun, yeah.
dead
Yeah,
dead
so
wife.
yeah, it hasn't
It's a booty call.
it is a booty call.
Wait. No.
Can I quit the podcast? Is that a choice I have now?
No.
Is it too early?
You're
You are
stuck now.
trapped.
Is it too early for that?
We got an oak
Nope.
friend.
You signed the contract. You signed the contract now.
Damn it.
I don't know what's going on, but
Chris, I rescind. I want to leave. Is that fine?
Oh,
Got hit with a bat cow
maximum.
Kyle dropped
Uh,
a terrible pun.
God, I missed it. Damn. Um, hi Jen. Yeah, so they go from texts to phantom calls to indistinct voicemails to finally crystal clear voicemails, and every one of them is sweet and loving and conversational, casual and happy.
And it tears him
So
up inside every time because he knows it's not her.
when you first got the first of these texts from Diane, you also got a kind of concerned text from John, your handler and brother-in-law, as it so is. Kind of asking, not kind of, but like asking if you would come to Quantico for a talk. Did you do that?
If I leave and go to Virginia, that's one less person who knows about the Hellmouth. I don't have time, John.
You don't get a response from him, but it's the day after New Year's now, and you wake up to a new voicemail from Diane.
Against his better judgment, he reads. As every time, against his better judgment, he listens.
This time it's immediate. It is different. Normally they're short-ish and, quick I love yous or hey I miss you or, hey remember that time. This one starts off staticky and hard to make out. And it kind of stays that way, but you can kind of make out the name John a couple times in this message, and then it's back to white noise until the message just times out.
He sits there with the phone to his ear for a while, kind of trying to process it.
there's a knock on your door.
Takes the bottle of tequila, puts it in between the bed and the bedside table, stands up, wipes his eyes. Slowly makes his way to the door. Looks through the window, looks through the people.
A man in a well-tailored suit stands a little stiffly at attention in front of the door, clearly expecting it to be answered.
The agent or whoever it is hears a thump of Jack's head hitting the door.
He looks several years older than you, Jack, though not as world weary. And actually, you know this as John.
You hear John hears, the several locks unlocking, chains still open. You see Jack just slowly creak the door open. It would have been easier if it's somebody else.
He looks you up and down, and the read is instant. I had a suspicion, but one look at you confirms my fears. How many have you gotten from her? And he walks in just sort of authoritatively, but with like a tinge of like caution, because he knows that you could probably beat him up.
Goes to open the door. It's a clank. Hold on, fuck. Undoes the final chain. Yeah. Every fucking day, man. Like, I don't even delete them and they keep coming. He sort of kind of collapses onto the corner of the bed.
You hear a stifled sigh from John as he looks back to make sure the door is closed. Takes a step over and does a couple of the locks again, up again. He finds the least grody looking chair and has a seat. Officially, I am here to check on a possible compromised agent.
Compromised now. Back when I was in the Rangers, they'd call us alcoholics.
That is another kind of compromised. Unofficially, Diane's back.
She's dead. I watched the light leave her eyes. I still do. She's dead.
He's trying to maintain his like agent composure. Her body is dead. Her spirit, so to speak, has been hauled back somehow. That is beyond debate at this point.
How?
I can't say at this point.
Jack makes a face.
He like tries so hard not to roll his eyes. He's trying so hard to stay like in his agent persona.
Trying not to be the brother-in-law.
Yeah, he looks at you and make me a perception notice roll.
Okay. 3 and that's a 10.
Yeah, you can tell that he kind of resents that you are getting so many like attempts to contact you from Diane.
Did she call you?
She has, yes.
I'm assuming you've been tracing my calls. Do they sound the same?
No.
Do I get to know what she's been telling you?
He hasn't told me anything other than unhelpful information.
Yeah, I can't. There's no way. It's got to be a trick.
I wish that were true. Our intelligence has verified that there is an unspecified, or rather unidentified entity attached to an agent.
It's like she hasn't been making me do stuff, John.
I didn't say she was making you do stuff, but she's causing a disturbance on our end. And quite frankly, I don't understand why you are getting so much communication from her despite all of our efforts. And when he says our, like, subtext is my,
Yeah.
um to reach out and communicate. And you can, like, he's starting to lose his composure, and he like takes a short deep breath. No, Glory, it's not a new Estia. Can't replace Estia. um she he looks at you, the agent composure sort of melting away for a minute, and he says, "What does she say to you?"
Jack's face doesn't change. It's still, I'm reporting to my superior officer kind of thing. At least that's what he's trying to tell himself. But a tear just quickly goes down one eye and then the other. She doesn't say anything. But I feel what she means. It's not right. It's supposed to be over. I'm not supposed to still love her like this. It's not fair. And then he just starts staring at the ground.
He puts his agent mask back on and he says, "We need to find a way to put her back at rest until a time as such." Sorry, words. Until a time comes where orders must be changed. That is your priority. But don't what's the word I'm looking for? Uh
Cuisinart.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He stands up and he says, "Keep this confidential for the time being."
Of course. Doesn't leave this room.
These are not direct orders, but if they need to be, I will make them. Ryan does not deserve whatever has happened to her.
So I guess we're taking a trip.
You don't have to. I understand you have priorities here in Cleveland. But I would appreciate you keeping in contact and remaining truthful with me.
Yeah. He still
By
hasn't
the
told me
way,
about, he still hasn't said anything about the dagger.
I know.
Yeah.
By the way, I've noticed the influx in reports on your patrols.
Helps me forget. Gives me something for my hands to do. Getting good at it.
Well, let's hope that's all it is. If your hands become a problem for things that are not undead, then you will have another problem on your hands. Am I clear?
It's not murder if they're already dead.
Precisely. And he gives a little knowing smirk, that like professional smile smirk,
Mhm.
and heads back to the door, begins to unlock it, and says, "Consider the assessment concluded.
Did I pass?
Drink less."
We'll see.
Don't make me make that an order.
Good tequila's hard to find in this town. I'll see you
Please.
soon. Minnie.
John turns to leave, turns back around, does like a, and then goes, closing the door behind him.
He waits 10 seconds after he stops hearing John's footsteps. And then he goes to the flip phone, goes to the group chat, the message he still hasn't sent. And then he closes it again, turns on the TV, and sits down.
You pass out in your shitty little apartment like you always do. And you have another dream like you always do. It's not the same one this time, though, which is kind of weird. 'Cause usually it's the usual one.
Mm-hmm.
But you're back in that horrible bunker lab fighting the Ellises, which is not where you would ever want to be again. You do have the knife again, though. And you end up against Delia. Knife's in your hand, and you're about to make the killing blow. Delia's eyes have a sort of panic in them as she realizes that this is her end. And then you fully focus on her face. And you realize it's not Delia. It's Diane.
I don't notice until it's too late. And then it's just
No, you do not.
it's the house fire all over again. I'm standing over her body, trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong. Except now she's turning to dust.
You hear shouts from across the room. They sound distant and muffled, kind of like you aren't in the same headspace. You're not thinking clearly. But then there is an enormous blast, and everything around you becomes dust, except you and this crumbling Diane.
He's kind of lost in it. He figured it out too late, and by then he was too stuck in the dream, so he's just sitting there losing her again. It's a little shitty about you. Nice. Yeah.
Fun fact, this plot arc for Jack is called A Little Ditty. Anyway.
Yeah, he's just holding her and he's like, how many times before you're at peace? How many times do I have to watch you die?
He is fully dust now. And you're just there in oblivion with her ashes. And that's where we're going to lower the curtain on your dream and transition to a little community in outer Cleveland where May is waking up and getting ready for the day. Hey, May,
Hi.
can you describe yourself for us?
Yeah. So waking up, May kind of fumbles around on a side table looking for her glasses and kind of just slaps them on. she wasn't asleep. She unfortunately hadn't really gotten any sleep the night before, so she just kind of laid in bed all night, eyes wide open, and it's just like, well, the sun's starting to rise. It's time to get up and make the bagels. She kind of fixes her long dark brown hair, so it's at least not in just rats' nests everywhere. She doesn't care about brushing it right now. It's not that big of a deal. She'll do that if she's gonna leave the house. Um, she's just wearing some like raglan PJs right now. Easy to. She doesn't care if they get dirty with flour and stuff, and so she heads to the kitchen.
Your Nana is already, you know, up and about, busy as a bee. She's got 2 pots on the stove. One is probably breakfast, and the other is probably a charm of some kind. It's really hard to tell. They kind of look the same at this early stage. Um, Good morning, Mary.
Oh, morning, Nana. What are you doing awake so early?
I am always awake this early. What are you talking about?
May like looks at the clock. Oh, it's a lot later than I thought.
Yes, and the crows are waiting. What day is the bagels today?
Um, Monday is cinnamon raisin.
Ah, okay. Mahjong Club will like cinnamon raisin. Let's see. And she like goes and she stirs the pot, and she definitely like uses the spoon for both pots. Um,
Nana, please, please,
what?
I can't do it again. Don't,
No,
don't
it's
use the
fine.
spoon for both. Nana, please.
No, they're basically the same until I do the thing with the other thing. Um,
Will you
and
remember not to use that spoon then?
okay for you. Now, look, Barnaby got here early. If you want to talk to him, you can talk to him. Uh, the crows are waiting for their food, and they're getting hungry.
Okay, sure. And she goes out to a little hallway before their balcony where they have this huge tub of bird feed and a bunch of bowls lined up, and so just kind of like a conveyor belt, like she's filling it up, moving it, filling it up, moving it, filling it up, moving it, and there's about 4 bowls that she like waitress platters outside on the balcony and sets them into these little bird feeder holders and just kind of waits to see if she's about to get tackled.
But the crows are they're used to like you sometimes coming out late because of various reasons and stuff. They are all lined up expectantly on the railing. So like you can tell that as soon as you put those bowls down, you might want to take your hand away really fast.
Okay,
And
guys. Please. I need my hands.
they just go nuts, and yeah, they're they're clearly hungry. But you see, off to one side, by the edge of the balcony, a very large, very darkly jet black crow, um, almost raven-sized crow, like. And this crow is looking at you with a kind of almost an intelligence. And you know this is Barnaby. Barnaby is Barnaby has been your friend since you were a kid. And I know you know that because we talked about it. Barnaby kind of hops over and flies up to your shoulder. Hey, kid.
Oh God, we gotta cut you back on the bagels. You're getting fat.
Hey, look, I get a bagel a day. That's what I always get. And I think that's fair.
She picks him up off of her shoulder and puts him underneath her arm and carries him inside because she forgot his bagel. And Nana won't care.
No, Nana's busy trying to not use the same spoon. You hear her go, "Ooh, whoopsie, almost." No, we don't do
Nana,
that.
please.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
I feel like I have to get a label maker for you and label the spoons.
Well, then you would have to label everything, and we don't need to do that because
I
we
will
don't need to
take
do that.
the time if it means that you will not curse me again.
It's not the curse. It's just a little mishap. Okay.
You turned me fuchsia a week ago, Nana. I call that a curse.
It could have been puce or chartreuse. Could have been worse. It was fuchsia, okay? Fuchsia is a good color.
It's not my color, though.
Look. Oh, hi, Barnaby. And Barnaby just kind of like squirms.
Oh,
Um,
sorry. And she puts him on the table and goes to grab his special bagel that's not cinnamon raisin.
And Nina hears him, caw and chirp, but what you hear is, "So, kiddo, you ready for the first day of school?"
um. Uh. Yes.
That does not sound like a yes.
Because I'm not sure it is.
Look, I know you're probably scared shitless. I get it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything because I know that we don't do that bullshit. And he like uses his like wing to like do this. May, for as much as you can see, you can't see the future. You can only do your best and be prepared, which your Nana can help you with that. And you hear like from over to the side. She goes, "No, we're good. I didn't use the same spoon. We're fine."
But do you see why I'm so nervous?
Yeah, I see why you're nervous. But look, you can't hide in your room forever. You and I both know it doesn't work for you anyway. And there's no shame in just making it to the end of the day. But you got this.
I mean, but you'll be like around, right? If I just decide that this isn't gonna work out and I can just stay at home forever, right?
Yes and no. I will be there. I'll be watching you. But promise me you're not going to default to running away again, okay? That's not good for you.
You're really sounding like my dad right now, and I'm not appreciating it.
Don't make me do the truth's universally acknowledged speech, okay? I don't like that one. Just, you owe it to your dad to get out there again. He doesn't want to see you scared and unhappy. He just wants to see you safe.
Well, as we've learned in the past, the outside isn't all that safe, is it?
Well, that's why your Nana's involved, okay? Janana is a very talented woman, and she is helping you as best she can. And then from the side, you hear, it works. And then you see Nana holding up 2 different spoons.
Just like a shaky sigh of like, I hope that was before she used that certain ingredient.
And then she's kind of like, no, this one goes in this one, and this one goes here. And then you see her kind of shuffle across to get like some bowls. And Barnaby sighs a little bit, and she's like, and he's like, as esoteric as Yanana is, Yanana keeps you safe the best she can. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I know what you've been through.
No, I
And
have
you're
the
safer
30
here.
protection charms jingling around in my water bottle, Barnaby. I know how much she tries. And she just holds up a
Oh,
water
she-
bottle that literally has a bunch of baubles and stuff just jingling around on
Yep.
it.
He like tries really hard not to like peck at it, but he's a crow. He just kind of like he like nudges it and it jingles and he's like, that's good. It's good stuff. Anyway. Look. If I know what you've been through. And I know you don't want that to happen again. And I know it doesn't really leave you. But this is the safest place you can be right now, and you got to believe that.
Sure, as long as nothing else explodes, I guess. You heard about that one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the whole city heard about that one. But you weren't here for that. Or you weren't there for that. So you're doing good.
Okay, I will put my trust in you. I will put my trust in Nana's charms, not Nana specifically right now because I
Right
am
there.
very Nana, you frighten me.
You need to work on that then.
But I will try my best.
That's all you can do is try your best. I'll be watching, okay? I'll be there if anything happens.
Oh, your bagel, and she slides his everything bagel over to him on a plate that specifically says Barnaby
She
on it.
he immediately starts pecking at it. He like goes for the sesame seeds first, and then sort of rips the bagel into little pieces, and like he's the only crow that actually gets a bagel. But it's about this time in like maybe half an hour that you've kind of had this chat with Barnaby, and Nana's been making her breakfast and her charm, and there's some pecks on the glass door that leads out to the balcony. The first round of crows are bringing in their baubles and their trinkets for Nana. She goes, I'll get that this time. It's fine. Breakfast is ready. It's the pot on the left.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the left.
Are you doubly, absolutely sure?
Yes.
Nana,
Yes.
I didn't like the pause before you asked Nana.
Look, you look at them and see, and you can see that
I'm
one of
gonna
them
I'm
is
gonna eat a protein bar. I'm just gonna eat a protein bar. I made some this weekend. It's fine. I'll be fine.
one of them is glowing significantly stronger than the other one, so you know.
Implies the other one is glowing as well.
I'm gonna eat a protein bar.
Ugh. Kids these days, so picky. And Barnaby will wait in the kitchen, nibbling at his bagel as you get ready for school. We have one person left to cover. Yay. Real quick, how did you spend your break?
Well, Ye spent Christmas Eve and several days thereafter recovering because the elderly neighbors in the cul-de-sac down the street decided that the right way to get back at those noisy kids was to summon the goddamn Krampus. So that had to be dealt with. And let me tell you, the Krampus is a biter. So that was really Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then some of the next day. When the powers of the Krampus started to wane and we could find enough cold iron to bludgeon him with until he was willing to go home. He went home without any kids, which is nice. But they did give him like 20 pounds of steak. Just to sweeten the pot a little bit, because you can't really kill something like the Krampus. You can just really make it want to go away. So after that, when the wounds had kind of healed up and such, he spent some time helping his parents with their catering business, because holidays are generally pretty busy for catering businesses, and did his best to avoid actually letting his mom corner him so she could try to get him to open up, because that just doesn't really go well right now, especially not with everything that happened. But mom powers eventually guilted him into sitting down with her for a while. When he could escape that, he would spar and practice with his dad, and the couple of times that the powers that be quite painfully gave him something to do, because why should he have a vacation? He went out and handled that too, though none of them were quite as annoying as the Krampus or Kip. He might have spent some time plotting ways to end Kip. Still, just in case, because Kip is herpes, in that he's just, you think you're done with Kip, you haven't seen Kip for a while, and then at the least opportune time, Kip is going to show up again, and his weed is going to go bad, and the coffee is going to be terrible, and all the things that come with Kip's presence are going to happen again. And this time, he is going to absolutely destroy Kip if he gets the chance. Now, to be fair, Ye realizes that Kip might end to just be the focus of a lot of his frustrations over other things that he really couldn't prevent or handle. But screw it. Nobody's going to defend Kip. Ye might also spend some of that time fretting that letting Danny live, even though Danny was fairly inoffensive, could also mean that more Gems of Amara are going to be out there. And that's something that's also very, very worrying to Ye at this point. So, that's a whole thing. That's pretty much Kip's break. Not a lot of emotional trauma. Not that he doesn't have enough of that already. But not really the kind of relaxing, decompressing sort of Christmas break that we were all hoping to have. We might have at times contemplating getting one of those leaf blowers that you can put, a whole lot of weed in and just hotboxing his entire room
Smoke
at
out.
his parents' house. But they really wouldn't appreciate that, so we didn't go that route.
No,
Um,
Kendra would eviscerate you.
Yeah, yeah. So we didn't do that. So instead we worked a lot to try not to think, because that seems to be a running theme with this group. No idea why.
Yay, healthy coping mechanisms.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard people have those. Imagine.
Wow.
Couldn't be me. And that's really been it, unless you have something like extra terrible that you just kind of want to, back that cement truck up on EA and dump right into his psyche.
As you mentioned that,
Oh, what a shock!
Since you offered,
That's why I went, wow.
This was happening regardless. Don't think I didn't know that.
it's the first day of classes. Woo! Woo. Yeah, you've got an early class, so you're up pretty early. Before you leave your apartment, though, you, I don't know why I need to clarify this, but like, you have like, you've been spending time with your parents, but like, you still have your own apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's still got his own place.
Yeah.
He just goes back to the parents' place for the holidays.
Mm-hmm. Before you leave your apartment, you get a vision.
Oh, this is great.
It's actually not as painful as the ones that you had gotten when the Ellises were involved.
Yeah, but not as
Um,
painful as not painful.
I mean, it stings. It kind of feels like, have you ever inhaled pool water like into your sinuses? Kind of
yeah.
feels like that.
Oh.
And then it leaves like a tingling sensation in your mouth, like you licked a little Tesla coil. A young woman in big glasses with long brown hair, wearing a sweater and a long skirt, sits on a balcony and appears to be having a conversation with a rather large crow. An old woman comes out onto the balcony and brings her a dish of something hot and steaming, then goes back inside. As the young woman takes a tentative bite, there is a blue, glittery. Then the vision cuts off, and your mouth tastes like cinnamon raisin.
Do I have any idea where this is?
No.
A map? Something? The hell am I supposed to do with a crow and tangy porridge? Is it bears? 3 bears? Where bears?
May, have that result in mind for today.
So somebody is in danger from porridge, and do I recognize the area? Like, can I see it's like a forested area? Is there anything? Can I make out a house number?
It looks like you can see a bit of a backyard. So it's one of the sort of outer neighborhoods that has some foliage in the back. There's like a tree or two and a little bit of grass, mostly taken up by like lawn ornaments and crows. But the thing is, throughout the day, as you go through your classes, you keep getting these little flashes. Same young woman, always being hit by magic, same tingling sensation. In the next one, she's driving on a sunshine yellow moped. She passes an alleyway, and there's a flurry of sparks as the moped sputters, and the vision doesn't fade back in after the flash. But this one tastes like blueberry. And in another, she's sitting at a quaint but cluttered kitchen table, casually eating a bagel. From somewhere, presumably in the same location, a waft of multicolored smoke snakes its way around her head, and you hear her sigh and start to annoyingly shout, "Nah!" before it cuts out. That one tastes like onion.
Am I getting fucking bean boozled by the powers that be? I'm not even getting Twitch subs for this. What the
The
hell?
powers that being.
Oh,
In the last one, she's on campus because you recognize Julian's classroom.
I don't care what classes I have today. As soon as I recognize that, I'm going to audit Julian's classroom and just
This time it's a point of view through a pair of thick Coke bottle glasses.
oh, Jesus.
Julian's giving a lecture at the front podium. Looks like medieval history, maybe a syllabus though. I need you to make me a perception notice roll, please.
Why does this always default to?
Oh
not
crap! How do I
dark
do that
mode?
again?
Literally is gonna be my first question when it's my turn to roll. Just, what am I doing? Oh.
Perception notice roll. Oh, it's all combat. And it has been a little bit. Oh, there it is. $16. I notice everything.
So you are first and foremost, what you notice is that you are filled with anxiety and fear and discomfort and worry.
So,
And
a usual college student, got it?
out of the corner of your eye, you notice someone fiddling with something in their hand. So you can look over, it's some kind of kitschy charm, like a rabbit's foot or a chintzy talisman that doesn't look like it could do any harm. It just kind of glows a little bit. But the thing that they're doodling in their notebook, that looks more serious. Those have a strong aura about them. But before you can discern what's going on, the person whose view you are seeing collapses as if slumped over, and the sound of bodies hitting desks and the floor can be heard before you are released from the vision. This
Good.
one tastes like cinnamon raisin again.
Well, fuck. Booking it to Julian's.
As you come out of this last vision, across the quad, you see this young woman on her way to Julian's building.
Well, I'm huge enormous and have quite a stride, so I should be able to catch up to her pretty quickly.
May you see this huge, enormous dude booking it towards you across the quad, looking
doesn't-
like he's got something to sell you.
Okay. So this is gonna sound weird. Um, did you eat some strange porridge today? Some sort of strange breakfast food with weird tastes? Might have caused some sparks.
Nana.
Okay, so that's a yes. This is going better than I thought it would. Um,
It looks so good.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that you also believe and or are just gonna look around in touch with powers others would call supernatural. Yes, other normal.
May reaches into, she's got like a crossbody satchel bag, and she reaches into her bag and starts pulling out these like good sized like garden rocks and starts like throwing them out of her bag. And her feet raise off of the ground a little bit, and she's just kind of floating there just a couple inches off the ground. She's like, yeah.
Okay, well, let's get to those rocks first, and later I might ask you to sing a song by Hera Belafonte uh for me. It's a whole thing. We'll get into that later. But for now, let's just say I have a very painful version of the sight, and I saw your moped throwing off sparks when you were going past an alley after you had eaten the porridge. I am tasting things, which wasn't as bad as some other times that's happened in Visions, but still not fantastic. Was cinnamon raisin like did that factor really big today?
I mean, that's Monday.
Okay, so we're there, and now I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you're going to Julian's class, correct? The medieval history.
Yeah, it's my first one.
Well, something is going to happen where you and everybody in the classroom passes out, and I did not see what happens past that, but it seems like there are two options here. Either you go to class and I just kind of wait outside class and see what happens. Um, Julian is also kind of used to this. We'll talk about that a little later too, I'm sure. Or you just don't go to class. And I don't think not going, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could talk to Julian. We could talk to Julian about what's happening here. But that's kind of your call. I know I look big and scary. I am sorry. I try not to be, and I am not going to force you to do anything. I just have been seeing this all day, and I needed to inform you of what I saw.
Speaking of big and scary, director, have I been talking to him for about a minute?
Yeah.
Can I go ahead and make my roll?
Mm-hmm.
That's the highest I can get, which is a 16. So, yeah, that's 4 success levels. So,
Let me look at something here. Um,
Don't tase me, bro.
Yay thought he was the biggest and scariest one here. Go again.
actually a really good question. What role would that be?
it says
What do
it's
you-
perception notice, and then after 3, I can tell what they are.
Okay. After 3 successful rolls?
No, after it's 3 or more success levels, and I got 4.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, you know. You know.
I think Ye sees her very eerily bright blue eyes like have a shimmer to them for a second as she looks up at him, and her eyes just get wider and wider to the point where it just looks like they're gonna pop out of her head. And she quickly collects her rocks back into her bag, and she runs away from him.
Can I roll to see if I like grok what just happened here at all?
Yeah, make a perception notice.
Any bonuses for also having the sight or anything?
Yeah. Since you have a modified version of the site, just take a +1.
+1. All right. 17. 5 successes.
This girl is magicked the hell up, but like she's full of fear.
Ye is gonna bust out his phone and like go right to Julian and be like, Julian, quick description of May. This chick is magic to the gills, and I had a vision where she was doodling in class and everybody, including her, passed the fuck out. And then I tasted cinnamon raisin. I don't know if that's terribly germane to this, but it happened. All right. So I'm going to be waiting outside the class and listening for thumps. Good luck. And then he's just gonna not run after her, but saunter away that he knows quite well. And he's gonna go just kind of hang outside the classroom and look at his watch, wait for thumps, look at his watch.
Yeah, so May, you're in class. Where do you sit, like, in the classroom?
This is her first time here on campus. And so she's like looking around, and her heart is thumping erratically, and she has like a heart monitor watch on her, and it's kind of and she has to silence it, and she's like, okay, and just looking around for any open seat that's maybe closer to a window, so maybe she can catch sight of Barnaby if he's around. Just like, okay, Barnaby, now would be the time for you to be around. I just saw, Big Blue Man.
Yeah, so you've seen Barnaby kind of watching from various trees as you've been crossing the campus and stuff. And there is like one window kind of on the far side of the classroom, and you see this large crow land on the sill outside of the window. And it's kind of an elevated window, but like it kind of nestles in the sill corner. And he clocks you. So you go over and you sit kind of in that area where you can see him. He can't like physically come into the room because the window's closed, but like he's hoping that you find comfort in his presence, obviously. And May, I need you to make me a perception notice roll.
He's also going to text the rest of the group about this. He's keeping everybody in the loop.
That's when
And
the text
Julian
to stop scaring young women.
Yeah, that's only a 9.
Sorry?
Why are you creeping on freshmen?
No,
Powers that be are making me creep. When have I ever wanted to do any of this stuff?
The group just trolls Ye back, but actually might start to make their way towards Julian slowly.
What did you get, Luna?
I only got a 9.
Okay.
I guess
You
one
are
success.
way too full of anxiety to like notice what's going on, and by the time you so class goes on and stuff, and like Julian got the text, and he is keeping an eye on you as surreptitiously as he can, because you're the only one that really matches the description that Ye sent. He learns your name based on roll call and all of that. But it is too late by the time you notice this girl out of the corner of your eye who is doodling some symbols in her notebook and frantically fidgeting with some kind of charm. It looks like something your grandma would have made. But the thing that's really glowing strongly that catches your eye is these symbols, but you don't have time to read them before you pass out. And yeah, you hear the thumps.
Oh, gee! Look, the thing I said was gonna happen has happened. He's gonna open the door, but not step in yet, and just peek. Is everybody out?
Everyone is passed out except this petite, brown-haired girl, not May, this other girl, who is looking around like something just went very, very wrong and doesn't know what to do.
Why do they always do this? She looks like a freshman.
Yes.
Every year we get a new fucking crop of freshmen, and there's always one who found a book somewhere and decided, let's do the things out of the book, because any number of very stupid and juvenile reasons, and then shit happens. This is how we got Kip, y'all. He knows he's actually yelling to a classroom of pretty much entirely passed out people.
Oh
But
no,
he's
Kip hears
still
him in the
just-
distance and just laughs.
Just you.
Aw, he's thinking of me.
Yeah, right.
You just point at the.
What if he
you-
materializes when you think
What
of him?
spell did
Me?
you just do?
It was supposed to be a relaxing spell.
Yeah, it worked.
I know. Well, no, it didn't. It was supposed to be for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oopsie.
What language was it in?
I don't know.
Latin, Coptic, Sumerian, Greek? How
It's
did you do
just-
this spell when you don't even know the language it's in?
It's just symbols. The lady at the store gave me a symbol. She said, trace it over and over again, and it would make everything calmer.
The lady at the store told you to write symbols. Okay, did she give you anything else?
And she just produces this slip of paper, and it says, it's this symbol. It's like a circle with various lines and other circles inside of it. It looks like a cross between the like the demon symbol from Supernatural and like circular Gallifreyan. And then at the top it says calming spell, and then at the bottom it says no ingredients necessary, simply draw and repeat. And that's all it says.
Okay, just stay there. Do not move. Because this could be way worse than you think it is. Does anything happen to Ye when he steps into the room?
No.
Okay, great. Ye is gonna go over to Julian. First, make sure that he didn't bust anything, because Julian was probably standing. He's that type of, uptight, broomstick up his backside professor who
He's gonna have a bump, but he'll be fine.
Okay. Ye is going to bust out what has become just part of his regular kit, which is a whole fucking thing of Morton salt. draw a circle around Julian, and then smack, 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 wake up.
Smack, 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 wake up. Let's see. Yeah, he wakes up. He is groggy, but he's like,
Julian, on a scale of 1 to 4,
"Ow,
how is your concussion right
ow."
now?
I'm pretty sure I didn't have one until till. Oh,
Look,
dude.
I had to make sure this wasn't one of those Sleeping Beauty style spells that just hit the whole class. And he's gonna like just lie the lapels, pick Julian up, set him down, turn his head to the entire snoozing class, and he's like, "We got 2 neophyte witches here, one of whom put everybody to sleep, and one of whom saw things that she probably shouldn't have seen." So this has turned out to be a busy first day of the new semester.
Okay.
So she is going
Well-
to point to the awake one, was given a relaxing spell to doodle. And still has the spell on her. So we should probably see about reversing that first. Yes?
Yes. He is going to say one moment and then heads into his office and brings back a thick tome. It's not a big tome, but it's thick. And he has a couple pages bookmarked and he turns it to one specific page that looks like he's used it more times than the other ones. And he starts to kind of read down the list and he goes,
Before you wake them up, just can you ask? He's going to point to me and the other one to stay after class, just to make it easy once you wake everybody up.
"Why?"
Because we need to talk to that one so she doesn't doodle anything else and possibly cause more problems. And that one, then he's just going to lean in and see, because apparently her sight lets her see through my human guise. Also, she floats when you take all the rocks out of her handbag. So that's
Well,
also a thing. So
okay.
with that said,
Uh,
he's going to grab a
Julian-
broom and sweep up the salt while Julian does his thing.
Yeah, so Julian reads like it's a long paragraph, but it's only one paragraph. It's like this it sounds like Latin, but there's like a hybridized form of something else in there too. And then he kind of the book closed and there's a as there have been so many today. And the kind of what it looks like is like old ancient dust from like a dusty book, but it actually on its own spreads throughout the room and distributes itself, and the students begin to wake up and go like, "Oh," and stuff, and they're asking like, "Dude, what happened?"
I think there was a gas
And
leak in here.
Julian says, yes, I did actually just see the email. It was an urgent email. Everyone out, class dismissed for today. I will email you the syllabus. You," and he points to the one girl, and you points to May. "I need to see you outside right now."
What?
And he's gonna wander out with Julian after most of the rest of the class funnels out. And he's gonna stand not like somebody who's ready to grab you if you run or anything. He's just gonna stand there looking just tired and kind of like he's got a mild headache already and is maybe more sober than he wanted to be at this point in the day.
Yeah, so Julian will actually what Julian will do is he will go up to the window and try to like shove it open to like act as if, yeah, there's a gas leak and we need to like air out the classroom, allowing Barnaby to kind of peek his head in, and he goes, shoot, 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 shoot. And Barnaby like puts up like a fight a little bit, and he's like,
Hey!
okay, fine.
Can you leave him alone?
Okay, so we got a familiar. All right, well, that explains some things too.
A
Should
what?
we be saying this in
And then-
front of the.
May, you hear Barnaby go, excuse me, I am not a familiar. And Yay,
Yay
you
has
just
no
hear,
idea.
you just hear, yeah, basically.
All right, so
Um,
Julian, do you want to take this? Should I? I don't.
I think we can tag team it.
Alrighty.
Let's go out into the hallway though, so we don't look like we're holding people in a gas leak room.
Do we want to go to your office, or I can't remember if that's connected to this classroom in such a way that that would be a
His
problem.
office is connected to the classroom, so that's
Okay.
probably not a good idea. So, so they're actually Julian's gonna lead you guys to a private room, like a private study room in the library. And he's gonna put in the group text like where for the others to meet them if they want to be included in this discussion. And then he turns to the freshman and says, Yay, did you show Julian the paper?
No, she still has the paper. Gay was more
Okay.
concerned with just trying to get Julian up and running because he figured Julian would know what to do about this. Gay just kind of hits
Okay.
things.
The girl is still holding her notebook that has the symbol traced over and over again in it, and Julian sees that and goes, where did you find that symbol? And she goes, I went to a store looking for something to calm me down on the first day of school, and the woman at the shop told me that there's a really good spell in Wicca that would help that sort of soothe my energy, and this was what she gave me. And she holds out the spell paper, and Julian looks at it and goes, well, that's just not correct. Listen. And he gives her like a stern talking to, and everything. And while Julian is dealing with this girl, May, you are standing in this room with this big blue half demon, and Barnaby can't get into the library to help you.
Yeah, he's just gonna look down and just be like, look, I know what I look like. I've always known what I look like when I'm not wearing my disguise. I assure you, I am not that kind of demon. If I was, this would have been a great opportunity to, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to go into the horrible things a lot of demons do. But it would have been a great opportunity to do any of that, and I did not do that. I kind of work with a team that tries to protect normal people
Let
from.
all of them scare you. Smoothie slurping Ash.
They are part
Right
of the
in.
team.
Oh, great.
And honestly, I would have entirely left you alone if I hadn't seen you in the visions that I get from the powers that be, whether I like them or not. I'm sorry if I scared you. I didn't know that you could see that other side of me. Most people can't unless I let it out. I'm Ye. Well, Jacob, but everybody calls me Ye. That's Ash. Third member of our team. I don't know if did Jack
Wait,
show up?
no, I fell back asleep. No,
Yeah.
I'm drunk in my apartment.
Yeah. Jack is
Crashed.
off doing Jack things. And Julian's kind of guidance counselor for this sort of thing.
Julian takes the piece of paper and several pages of that notebook so that she can't retrace like the depression she's pressed into the pages. And puts them in his coat pocket to burn later, and goes and like, you know, takes down her name and writes down what happened, and is like, you know, please don't do this again. Things could have gone way worse. And you know, he's pretty sure, you know, she learned her lesson and stuff,
Yeah.
because it could have scared the shit out of her. So
and
Did-
also,
so he
what's
sent
the name
her-
of that store?
Yeah, I was supposed to say, it's like, did May recognize the stuff? Oh,
May
God.
didn't sell her the paper,
No.
but May recognizes the. Mm-hmm.
Carla, you can't do this.
Oh, so you're more connected to this than I thought. That would explain things.
I work there part-time.
It's still a connection. Also, what was up with that porridge or whatever, the breakfast?
Oh, you're the cinnamon raisin floaty girl? Oh, cool.
Oh, great. Is that what I'm going to be known as? I guess it's better than, you know, hey, it's that girl that turned invisible one day randomly, or the one with the flashing you know what, never mind. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that would be my Nana.
Okay. Well, honestly, that's not the weirdest thing you're gonna see on this campus. I'm pretty certain. You actually, through whatever contrivances by powers beyond our understanding, but not beyond the occasional finger to the sky, probably arranged all this in part.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely, please do.
I'm very afraid of the answer, though.
I promise I
We
will.
usually are.
No harm will come to you. I'm not going to make fun of you. Trust me. Please just ask.
It's not what I'm worried about.
Oh,
But, because I would not put it past Nana to keep this from me. Are we on the Hellmouth?
that's a good question. And technically, we're not on the Hellmouth,
Jack sneezes.
but we, yeah, but we do know where it was just recently exploded.
Ooh, I like you.
Oh, exploded. Okay. Oh, that was you.
No, no, that
Okay.
wasn't me.
No, was not us.
No, no,
No.
okay.
That
I
was
just hear
that was
explosion and bad things, and I was like, oh.
well, that was Jack.
Well, yeah.
Because you know,
He's-
former U.S. soldier, so
Like
explosions
our-
solve everything.
Yeah.
But you just said he's part of your group, so
Yeah,
any
but I
and
didn't
all
know-
blame is like kind of shared, I'm guessing.
Only when we all know.
Yeah.
I don't remember being told about the plastic explosives. So that was a surprise to all of us. The fact that we were actually only down there to try and stop some eugenicist Nazi vampires who had managed to make more new gems of Amara, and were planning to open the Hellmouth themselves in a more controlled way is just how last semester went.
Oh, great. So vampires and Nazis. Wow, don't
Yeah. And science.
I will
a
not be
little.
telling Nana about that.
Wouldn't
That-
suggest it over dinner. No.
Yeah, no, I there's a lot I haven't told my parents.
Well,
Um,
I'm just like I think like the Nazi thing would be the most the worst part of that than the vampire part. Like vampires, yeah, they're everywhere. It's whatever. It's the Nazis that it doesn't quite mesh well with our family.
yeah, no. The fact that you call her your Nana kind of hints at things. So yeah, I could see that. They are dead now, along with all of their creations.
Definitely dead. Definitely dead.
And the Hellmouth was buried by the explosion. However, that does not mean it was actually closed. It's just jammed for now.
Wedged?
Which
Which so that's been a whole thing.
Do you have a name?
Oh, yeah, I'm May Lipinski.
Yeah, I probably would have asked that earlier, but you ran away from me in terror, and
Yeah, you're scary.
You are a little scary, yeah.
I was so trying hard not to be scary.
You're very blue.
Not to most people.
There's a spew of smoothie. Just
That's gross.
no, just like a spit take left. Just yeah, he's pretty blue. Yeah.
I like to think the
You can see
deep
tattoos.
down and die.
You can see him? Well,
Yeah, I didn't get it either until her eyes glowed, and then I was like, oh wait, that's the sight. I recognize that. But I didn't want to be the giant junior chasing after a scared looking freshman girl.
No, don't do
I'm-
that. Don't
I'm
do
not
that.
a freshman.
Oh.
Really? Oh.
No,
okay.
I'm a junior.
Oh, okay. Well, honestly, the grade doesn't matter nearly as much as giant guy chasing scared looking young woman.
Yeah.
So I had to follow you, Visions, and it was the right thing to do, but I am sorry that I scared you. I tried to be as inoffensive as possible. It's just really not easy for me. And he looks at Ash.
Fair,
And
fair,
you're
fair.
like, why don't you ever date, yay?
I mean,
Hey, May. Or Ash, say your thing.
oh, no, go ahead. It was literally just, I mean,
Hey, May. Make me a perception notice roll.
Okay. 12.
You hear like a kind of a little pop from the corner of the room. Somebody you're used to. Somebody who sometimes doesn't have the best timing. She walks over to you and she kind of she hops up on the table, kind of swinging her legs over the edge.
Ash twin.
May, this is Lacey, and you know that. But no one else knows that because no one else can see Lacey.
Yeah, she's very much like trying to not just stare over, just like very overtly like looking between Ash and Ye, being like, nothing's going on.
Do we get Slayer sense or
Yeah, right.
night rolls to know that
Yeah.
something happened?
Or like even Slayer sense of like, I mean, Ash has not met May, so like, what's going on with May?
Yeah. Ash, make me a perception notice, and
Okay.
Yay also make me a perception notice.
Modifier 0, right? Yes. Okay. It's been a minute.
Lacey shows up, this beach blonde babe, in with these beach freckles and short shorts, bathing suit top with a tie front shirt cover up, wearing, some slightly dirty chucks. Always very grew up in California, always beach ready. Sort of a nice tan glow to her. And she's just like, "Hey, Mayday."
15.
13.
How much? 13, and Ye got a 16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ye, you definitely noticed that there's a cold spot between you and Ash. And Ash,
3
Nice
successes.
smacks Ye's hand.
and Ash, you're getting like something's weird with May right now.
Something's hinky.
Oh, we touch skin to skin. Empathy. Yay has touch empathy.
May, what are you feeling?
Oh God. Oh Jesus. Oh.
Jack, Julian will say yes, please come over.
I think like right now, just like them just showing up and then plopping right in the middle of these two people that she's just met this day, and she's already shown herself to be quite a freak, and now this is happening, and her thoughts are racing, but like her heart is still like just kind of like it's does that like little skip a beat, and just like that affection that always comes, but there's also like the anxiety of just like not now.
Lacey just looks at you, like kind of leaning back on her hands, is like, "New friends?"
She's like
Don't!
watching Ye and
Okay.
like, what are you doing?
Goliath
He's
is
like,
kind of
because
like
the poke
trying to.
is like coming towards Ash too. So Ash is like, what are you doing?
There's a cold spot here, and May doesn't want me touching there, which means some sort of spiritual activity.
So now there's 2 of them doing it.
Stop!
Okay.
Please.
Okay. We'll both. Yay stops. He's like, all right. So, look, I'm a 6 foot something giant blue half demon. I also, in fair warning, have empathy through touch. I'm very good at reading emotions and surface thoughts and such, but only through touch. I'm the only one of my kind that I know of on this plane. Just putting that out there. So I know you feel self-conscious, and I did not expect you to hit my hand, so I'm sorry that I did read what you're feeling, but you are not by any measure the strangest person in this room.
Hey!
You're just a pain in the ass, Ash. That's totally different. But you're my favorite pain in the ass.
You're not that weird though, May. Promise.
Well, if Ash is your pain in the ass, mine is currently sitting on that desk.
She just goes, "Hi," as if anyone can see her
Or hear her.
I am
or
curious.
hear her.
He'll be like, I am curious if empathy works on ghosts, but I will respect your decision not to have me do the pokey thing in that cold spot. I will also
Well, you were
respect it
just-
because
you-
that's another person.
Yeah, you were poking somewhere not great. She doesn't.
I cannot win.
This is why he doesn't date.
Who wants to date a half demon? Anyway,
She brings.
I mean-
she brings her legs like up on top of the table, like sitting crisscross applesauce, and she's just like snickering, like, "This dude's funny."
I feel like Ash and Lacey would get along.
I think May turns towards you and it's just like, listen, like you're not bad looking even when you're blue. I've been different colors before. It's fine. I think it's more
Yeah, that one time you were yellow. You looked really pretty when you were yellow. I also like it when you're purple.
it doesn't go with anything. What do you mean?
You know, you're right. I don't really go with anything.
No.
Hey, he doesn't even look sad. He's just kind of like, yeah, no, that's right.
The horns do not coordinate.
May, you should be friends with these people.
Hey, remember the last time I had friends, Lacey?
Okay, but you're having a new start, you know? It's been a while. Come on. Take the
Yeah,
plunge.
sure. With the giant blue guy and the
The Slayer.
No.
I'm sorry, what?
That's the Slayer. You already know my secrets. I'm figuring out some of yours. It only
She
seems
knows
fair.
yours, and she needs some wine.
Great. Like
Hi.
I need another one of those ruining my life. Cool.
So you also have a Slayer
So-
relative then? We knew somebody who
No.
had one of those.
Just,
No?
kind of helped blow up my hometown.
They do that, depending on what's going on in the town. We haven't had to blow up any towns yet.
Just like a mountain.
Just a Hellmouth.
More of a hill, really. Nothing really to worry about.
Yeah.
Jack, it's at this time that you show up.
With the
And
motorcycle,
Julian
really.
actually, while you guys have been distracted, has taken a phone call. So he actually stepped out of the room. But Jack, you walk in on them having this conversation about turning purple or and Yay not dating and Ash being the Slayer and the hometown blowing up.
It's just like, so who's the new girl?
Yeah, like-
This is May.
May, that's Jack. He's not a cop.
Not a cop. I'm just normal.
Hi.
He's some sort of Mennonite Terminator. It's
What?
Oh,
I mean-
cool.
He's not wrong.
yeah.
Sure. What's this about a gas leak?
There wasn't
No,
actually a gas
no.
leak. I saw a vision of May. This vision included tasting cinnamon raisin, blueberry, onion for some reason, then cinnamon raisin again, along with the visions
Dad of
of
yours, yeah?
You never had an onion bagel with just like cream cheese?
I mean, I have, but I didn't know this was all bagel stuff. I just guessed I didn't put it together because normally if I taste anything in my visions, it's terrible things that I don't care to describe. This was actually the tastes overall were actually very pleasant. I kind of want a bagel now, but that aside,
Thanks.
there was another girl. I'm assuming we shuffled out before this conversation really took off.
Yeah.
Who was given a spell by somebody that May knows, and it didn't work as they intended, and put Julian's entire class to sleep except for her.
That's totally safe.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to go have a talk with that shop.
Did you guys see the big freaking crow?
That's Barnaby.
That's
You said.
Barnaby.
He has a name.
Barnaby.
Oh,
Yeah.
is there a window in here we
Yeah.
can let Barnaby in?
There's not.
Ye's gonna go open the door and like check the other classroom for the crow. Like look around just real quick.
Barnaby, so there's some windows in the hallway that lead to the library, and Barnaby is in the sill of the closest window, trying to get as good of a look at the inside of the library as he can.
Jay's gonna wander over, just flip the window open. She's in there. Come on. Wait for Barnaby to.
Barnaby immediately flaps through and into the room and almost runs into the glass, but he's a little smarter than the average bird and stops just shy and lands and kind of pecks at the glass door, waiting for Ye to let him in.
Yep, he lets him in. So here's your
Barnaby immediately onto May's shoulder.
Barnaby.
that's Barnaby. That's
Barnaby.
familiar. Guardian spirit. Something.
I mean, he's a crow.
Seems.
I prefer the title friend. Thanks.
He's
Little bit
my
bigger than the
friend.
Yeah.
I've known him since I was a kid. He's my friend Barnaby, as he would like to be known as.
Can you speak to other crows or just Barnaby?
I mean, you're not a crow, right?
I mean, I'm a crow right now.
Same diff.
Whatever. Welcome to the gathering of the.
The
I
island of misfit, not humans.
Yeah.
She's
And
gonna
then me.
take him off the
And the
shoulder
human,
again because
yeah.
he's really heavy and just kind of hold him in her
Like a
arms.
chicken.
And
At
the chicken
that
grip.
point, Julian comes back in and he looks way, way, way more serious than
I
he
don't-
did
I
when
don't
he
like-
left.
I don't like when you get that look on your face.
He closes the door slowly and he looks up, and it's hard to make eye contact with all of you. But he kind of can't decide who to address first until his gaze finally lands on Ash. And he says, "We have a problem." That's where we'll drop the curtain.
Oh man, I was gonna follow up with that. Up with, did your wife find your OnlyFans?
No.
She just
His
knows.
only books.
Oh,
only
It's
books.
only
only
books, yeah.
Hashtag only tweed.
only-
Just Argyle socks up the cap.
with those like sock suspenders.
Oh my god. My grandpa
Hell yeah.
had sock clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot. Hot.
Um, oh my gosh, what a first session of season 2, you guys.
Is it really 8
Uh,
o'clock already?
Jesus, yeah.
I know, right? Thank you everyone so much. We had some new people in chat. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, folks.
Welcome to thank you.
Madness.
Welcome to Dirty 20 Gaming. Welcome to Grave New World. Thank you to my wonderful players. Thank you to Bison. Thank you to Bat Kyle. Thank you to Mana Queen. Thank you to Luna. Oh my gosh. Making their debut. What a debut it was.
I love them already.
I think
Yep.
Same.
I wasn't worried that they were going to fit in, but this is great. And thank you to everyone, like I said, in chat who watched live. Thank you to everyone who's watching the VOD or on YouTube. If you made it this far, you clearly liked it, so go ahead and give it a like and comment. We love hearing what you have to say. It makes us happy. And last
you,
but not
Director
least,
Chris.
Yeah, thank you for Director
Thank
Chris.
you, Chris.
Director
Thank
Chris
you,
has
Chris.
been waiting for this and eager for this on a level that I can't describe for weeks, really, since it was first announced that we were coming back for this, and we've all been excited for it, but
Mhm.
you can tell Chris just has this incredible passion for it, and it comes out in her directing. So thank
Mhm.
you so much for making this such a memorable first episode of the second season.
Thank you guys. You guys helped too. And so did producer Kevin. So thank you, producer
Producer
Kevin.
Kevin.
Hey, producer Kevin.
Character art courtesy of Hero Forge, background image courtesy of Pixabay, all that jazz. Um and without further ado, you guys be nice to each other. Please. Bye. Have a
Bye,
great
guys.
night.